Western Digital MyLive devices are under attack. Here's what you need to do. SharePlay has been released to iOS 15 Beta 2. Google FI VPN comes to iOS, and more in today's tech news. As the podcasting wars are heating up, Amazon has made an announcement today saying that it's acquiring Art19, a major podcast hosting and monetization platform, for an undisclosed sum. This now means that Amazon will have a hand in hosting podcasters' shows as well as selling ads against them, because Art19 operates an ad marketplace that not only targets but also inserts ads into programming. And Amazon Music spokesman says nothing will change on the Art19 platform. And this is something that we've seen actually build up since last year when Amazon acquired Wondery. And that was one of the last major independent podcast networks that was going. So with this now, it looks like Amazon is starting to seriously get into the podcasting sphere, where you've got Spotify already focused on the podcasting market as well. Now, for Spotify, it makes sense because you've got people already paying £10 a month for music, and so if they listen to podcasts, then that's less music they're listening to, so that means they have to pay the artist less, so they actually get a bigger cut of that £10 a month. And then obviously for the free users, they're obviously being targeted with ads as well. So this is a big shift. Now, Apple obviously is still holding out on the podcasting, where they've only just announced that they're going to let people pay premium shows through there, where they get their 30% cut, but they're not actually going to be doing anything really different in returns of buying and producing their own content or anything like that either. So it's definitely an interesting move that Apple are still standing out. But if this continues to go, then I can't see a way of Apple holding out much longer. They're going to have to start getting in there as well if they want to stay competitive or relevant in there as well. For the past few years, Google's MVNO has long offered a built-in virtual private network as part of its monthly subscription, and now the Google FI VPN is rolling out to iPhone users. Now, Google originally announced the expansion to iOS back in February when the FI VPN exited beta for Android user, and it was first introduced in November 2018, so it's been in beta for nearly 3 years. And alongside the enhanced network option that enables secured connection and automatically switches mobile data on for poorer Wi-Fi connections, and it's expanded beyond the Pixel devices to the Android phones. So now this is actually finally come into iOS users as well. And this also shields your IP address and makes sure that nefarious parties cannot see what you're doing while you're browsing on unsecured networks. And that rollout is starting today as well if you are a Google Fi user on iOS. So make sure that you update to version 3.5 of the Fi companion app in the App Store. And afterwards you'll be able to enable it by scrolling through the main account tab until you reach the phone settings section. And there will be a privacy and security menu. So from there, you'll be able to turn on the new Protect Your Online Privacy option, and then a pop-up will appear to confirm that the feature. So you've got it, and then allow, and then you enter your passcode or use your fingerprint or Face ID, and then VPN will appear at the top of the iPhone status bar once you're connected. Now, the Google Fi VPN is available in Australia, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Faroe Islands, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, UK, US, and US minor outlying islands, and the Virgin Islands as well. And this built-in VPN along with spam blocking is available on all 3 Google Fi plans, which is flexible, simply unlimited, and unlimited plus as well. When Apple introduced iOS 15, one of the main features on there that everybody was raving about was SharePlay, which allows you then to share what you're watching with other people on a FaceTime call, so you can actually watch together as well. Now, obviously, with Beta 1, that feature actually wasn't really working, so Apple released iOS 15 Beta 2 yesterday, and the new feature which has SharePlay is actually been launched in there as well, so users are able to test it. And 9 to 5 Mac has actually given it a bit of a rundown on there as well. So to start SharePlay, the user needs to make a FaceTime call, and then there'll be a few ways to trigger the function. So for example, start listening to a song on Apple Music, open content on the TV app, and then click on the right corner on the FaceTime call in the share screen button below the end call. And so far you'll be able to use Disney Plus, Spotify and HBO Max, obviously if they're available in your country. And other users will have to be on iOS 15 Beta 2 at the moment as well for you to be able to use those options. So everything new with SharePlay, you've got the watch together, so you can bring movies and TV shows into your FaceTime calls and actually watch them there. Listen together, where you share music with your friends right in the FaceTime calls as well. You can also share your screen, so you can bring your web pages and apps some more into the conversation. Sync playback, which offers pause, rewind and fast forward, or even jump to a different scene, so everybody's playback will remain in perfect sync as well. And then you've got smart volume, which dynamically responsive volume control calls. And you can adjust the audio so you can hear your friends during the loud scenes as well. You've got multiple device support, so you can connect over FaceTime on your iPhone whilst watching on your Apple TV or listening to music on your HomePod. And you connect through audio, video and text as well, so you can access your group's messages thread right from the FaceTime controls and choose the model of communication that matches the moment. So you haven't always got to be face-to-face there. You can actually be chatting via text as you're watching it as well. So that's an interesting feature, and like I say, that's now available in Beta 2. Western Digital, which is the maker of the popular MyDisk external hard drives, is recommending that customers unplug MyBook's live storage devices from the internet until further notice, whilst their company engineers investigate unexplained compromises that have completely wiped data from the devices around the world. The mass incidents of disk wiping came to light after users started reporting that their devices had been wiped, and so far the email from Western Digital's officials have written, the incident is under investigation from Western Digital, and we do not have any indications of a breach or compromise of Western Digital cloud service or systems. And we have determined that some MyBook Live devices have been compromised by a threat actor. In some cases, the compromise has led to a factory reset that appears to erase all data on the device. The MyBook Live device received its final firmware update in 2015. At this time, we are recommending that customers disconnect their MyBook Live devices from the internet to protect the data on the device. And we have issued the following statement to our customers and will provide updates when they are available. So it does look like at the moment that they are denying that their cloud services or anything else has been compromised, and that it's individuals who have been compromised. Obviously, with the firmware being updated last in 2015, that means that there are plenty of vulnerabilities that may have been discovered in the past 6 years. So if you do have one of these devices, make sure you unplug it from the internet immediately. On to now what I've been reading recently. It's a book called No Filter, How Instagram Transformed Business, Celebrity and Culture, and that's by Sarah Fryer. And I'm about halfway through this book at the moment, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And it starts about how Instagram first came to be and how the founders basically wanted something different, and then how they put off acquisition by Twitter, and then they finally give in to acquisition by Facebook, and where it's gone from there. Now, obviously, if you use Instagram, you know obviously that Facebook owns it and how it's changed over the years. So this book is actually going through there, and it's got quite a lot of in-depth information, and it's really interesting. So if you haven't read that out, I'll put a link in the description for you to pick that up as well.
Today's episode is sponsored by Creatively Social. Creatively Social helps you in building your social media platforms for your business to thrive by helping you to provide fresh content, marketing, and engagement for your business, taking the pressure off you. Save yourself hours in your day for a better work-life balance. Get in touch at creativelysocialvia.com.
Now, for those of you who haven't checked it out, we recommended in the past that you listen to another podcast called Essential Apple, and we've been on there several times as well, and it's really good. Obviously covers a lot of Apple news every week there. So we're going to put a little clip in now where they talk about how Forbes uses headline as clickbait on there. So this is a little bit of a sample, and again, we're going to put a link in the description so you guys can check those out as well.
Steve has just sent me the link from Engadget. iPhone bug breaks your Wi-Fi when you join an oddly named network. There we go. Thank you, Steve. I'll put that in the show notes.
And that sums it all up, really. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was in Apple News.
Yeah, was it from Forbes? Was it from Forbes?
It could have been.
Because
Probably
Forbes,
they like the headlines, don't they?
Forbes is really weird because, as I said one show, I found out Forbes don't really have an editorial team. They're just like a fire hose of submitted articles, which is why you get one article with a stupid headline like that, Apple's iPhone's doomed due to Wi-Fi bug. And then you'll get another person, because people like Ben Baharin and Bob O'Donnell and Carolina Milanese and lots of other top writers submit to Forbes and who write sensible, informed, and insightful pieces. And then you get people who just write that clickbait.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode.